All right, then it's time to stop what you're doing and wash the pussy out of your mouth because we're live from the archives of Reinhardt's Porn Stash with our notorious podcast.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to the SOGOpod. I'm Kinder.
I'm Frank.
And here with us we have special guest, RAGTAGG. Introduce yourself, RAGTAGG.
All right, guys, it's RAGTAGG here. I'm a YouTuber mainly focusing on Overwatch, but used to be World of Warcraft as well.
He is an absolutely brilliant Scotsman rant specializing in fucking, I don't even know how to describe you. He's just an angry as hell Overwatch YouTuber. I love your videos. You're absolutely brilliant. And we have Mr. RAGTAGG here today to talk about fucking Overwatch and video games and stuff and make you get sad.
And making YouTube videos for fun and profit, I assume.
It's more fun than it is profit because I've got a real job and a real family. But I think people assume that YouTubers are all driving Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
but
that's what they all talk about.
Yeah, they do. But I think you've got to hit quite a level of fame, and you've got to have merchandise on the side and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So a lot of people see my subscription size and think that it's pretty big, but you know, in our world, I guess it's kind of small to medium. I guess I would say
that's what happens to me. You know,
it seems a lot.
They look at it and it looks big, but in practice, it's actually small to medium.
Was that a dick joke?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I wasn't following there.
You, of all people, don't get a dig joke. What is wrong with you? We have been out of this for too damn long.
No, I was just fucking like deadpanning you for no reason because I'm an asshole.
You are an asshole.
Anyway, well, that's the thing. Like, I do agree that there's this weird thing that particularly the faceless, people of the internet seem to have about YouTubers, and that everybody's rich over a certain subscriber threshold, like 100,000. They just assume you're raking in the big bucks and that you are, good to go and you're YouTubing full time in your life. And we've had another YouTuber on, 8-Bit Brody, and he said pretty much almost exactly the same thing you just said, that I really don't get that much, but people still come at me talking about like I'm pulling in thousands of dollars a month over YouTube videos.
Yeah, and it was the same thing when we had Only Afro. I don't know if you know him. He's a big Dark Souls guy. We had him on as well, and he's absolutely huge. I mean, he's got to be the biggest Dark Souls guy, maybe other than Body Video.
Body Video and Epic Name Bro and shit like that. But they do like lore videos and shit like that. Yeah. He just does dumbass gameplay.
He's just a memer,
and shit like that. Yeah.
So he's like up there in those ranks, but it's the same way with him. It's just not that much money. Of course, we make nothing because we're in fucking audio.
Yeah, guys, I feel for you. I guess what the thing is, it's all about the views as opposed to the subscribers. So if you make some sick ass videos that go viral, then you can make a fair bit from that. But it all comes down to views, and that means being consistent, and then that means you have to work a lot. So you end up working, the same sort of wages that someone in a third world country in a factory might work, if you kind of put it down to an hourly wage, because it's not just the editing itself, it's the gathering of the footage, and I've got to go and find all the morons that I have to play with. And then there's the Photoshop and the editing of that, and then I've got to edit my own sound and all that kind of stuff, and then sometimes I need to write scripts. A lot of the time I'll just talk shit, and I'll just say, this really fucking pisses me off about the game, and I can talk for 10 minutes on it. Other times, if it's like I have to make lists, you have to sit and think, well, is this, something that people would relate to or not, so I guess, oh God, I actually do sit and think about that. I actually do think, which is more aggravating, which makes you want to throw your fucking monitor out the window more, so that's what it is with me. It's how angry does it make me. So you have to sit and consider and contemplate, the varying levels of anger when doing like a top 5.
You ever been
top
making
10.
one and you had it at like 3, and then as you were doing it, you're like, fuck this is actually number 1 or something like that?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I've actually done that so much because usually the thing I think of first is actually the one that triggers me the most. So sometimes I'll be like counting it down. I'll go, no, this is not 5. This is 1. So and I know that when I start talking, because I usually just make bullet points. And I've stopped doing that now. I've actually started numbering them because bullet points, just used to be sort of numberless, but then the anger that would creep into my voice would decide,
which one is
number
triggering
it was. But now
more at this moment.
Yeah, so you could say YouTube is like anger management for me. It's a good way to vent all the stuff that's going on in the inside.
Speaking
so,
of Overwatch and salt, I have an extremely salty Overwatch story for you about placement matches. So what actually happened, we just moved into my new house, and about the time I got everything set up and my computer ready and everything, Season 3 was beginning. So, you know, I'm getting a couple of quick play matches, get up to par, and I was a Zarya main at the time, and I didn't get the memo that Zarya was out of meta. And on top of that, I kept having some weird issue with my audio, like my VoIP wasn't working right, you know, just weird shit like that. But yeah, I figured I could do it without VoIP and all, and I could just like text chat and listen to the other people in Discord that I had grouped up with. Well, the problem got worse. Eventually, mid-placement match, this is like number 2, my audio drops out completely, and everything just like stutters down to a crawl. I can barely even move. It's completely unplayable. So I actually had to leave the game and try to come back and fix the problem.
Oh, dude, did you get suspended?
That worked the first time. I was able to finish the game, but I still, you know, I lost a bunch of kills, and, you know, I didn't... I lost a lot of performance in that, and everybody knows in Season 3, it doesn't matter if you win or not, it's how you perform individually. So, you know, I did a couple of things, closed out a few programs, checked my startups, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Tried it again, got a few more placement matches in, and was doing really well. I won like 6 out of all of them, which compared to last season, I won like 3. Excuse me. I was on fucking fire, playing really well. And then all of a sudden, the problem comes back in both of the last 2 matches, and I got levers penalties for both because I couldn't fix the problem. And where I was upper gold, I was like just a cock hair away from getting platinum last year. I'm a scrub, I admit it. But I was so close to getting platinum last season, and got placed at 1585. Fucking, it's absolutely fucking infuriating. And you know what the problem was?
Oh, man.
It was a goddamn audio driver.
What was it?
An audio driver for my fucking interface that we're using right now. For some reason, it defaulted to some faulty audio drivers, and was causing all that havoc.
Man, that is bad. I feel for you. I actually released a video that I think everyone flocked to because they thought it was going to be some kind of, oh man, check how cool this is. And the video title was like, I won all 10 of my placement matches. And I really, it was just one big fucking rage fest on the video. Oh man, it was brutal what happened to me. I'm in platinum now. I'm in mid-platinum at the moment, but I'm sort of, I think 2,700, I think I'm somewhere around there. So I'm just trying to get myself back up to platinum. But I play with another YouTuber called The Lazy Peon, and I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's pretty big in terms of subscribers compared to me. He's at the 300k mark, and whenever we play in a game together, we always get, is that the real RAGTAGG? Or is that the real the Lazy Peon?
No, only a fan.
People want to speak to us. No, but it's fine. And people on the opposite team want to speak to us and stuff. So I let them speak because they want to speak. And the longer they talk, they're just sitting there. And I'm like, dude, I don't care if you're sitting there. I will charge your motherfucking ass off. You know, I can see them sitting in a corner and typing to me. Yap! You know, so, no mercy. Sorry.
That's brilliant. You actually use it to your advantage. That's devilish. I like it. Man,
I will crush anyone that is sitting there typing, you know. It's competitive, so that's how it is. But on the flip side of that, I in my real job, I get called out via pager, so the amount of suspensions and 75% experience debuffs I've had is beyond count.
That's brutal.
So it's not fun.
And it's not so bad when you're in quick play because the matches are so short and sweet, but competitive in Overwatch, it can last sometimes half an hour for a single match if you're in a long one.
Yeah, and that's before they fixed it, though. It was even worse, wasn't it? It was really, really bad. When things were like, you know, it's now 5 games to 4, you were like, come on, man. Yeah. You know, it's not nearly an hour.
Season 1 was actual hell.
So I'm glad they did fix that.
Oh, God, it was awful. But they've come a long way. I don't know how I feel about Season 3 right now, mostly because I got fucking placed so goddamn low. But Otherwise, I'm liking it.
Well, I was going to say my own thoughts about season 3 are that the changes are generally good, but there's a problem with the post placement. Like once you've done your 10, then you get like a sort of a balancing sort of system where you play so many games, and it seems to reward you for your wins. So if you go on a nice little hot streak and you're getting like 50 points a game, you're going to rank up. You know, you'll go from gold to platinum or platinum to diamond pretty quick. But if you then find yourself with a bunch of levers and a bunch of fucking morons, then it's going to be ELO hell, because you'll be stuck there. And after, say, 10, 20 games of you bouncing up 50, then dropping down 20 or 30, you know, it's. I don't think it's perfect yet. It is better, but you can definitely see that I play with people who are gold rank, and I think, why are you gold? You're really good, you know,
right.
But they're not kind of hardcore competitive guys. They're just playing now and again, so they're kind of stuck there. So yeah, you'll see people of a reasonable skill set, but they're maybe not playing as much. That they're playing CS:GO and League of Legends and all that kind of stuff, and they're just nipping on. So I do get surprised by lower ranks now and again.
We actually had some sort of server error or something. I don't know what was going on. I was queued up with some other silver guys, and we had one guy that was almost plat. He was just barely able to join us. And for some reason, the server freaked out and matched us with like all diamonds. I don't know why. But this was a competitive match too, and all these guys were like ranked in diamond, like fucking like decent players. And we're all thinking, oh shit, we're absolutely screwed. But we held him. We held him to a fucking draw. I swear we did. It was actually pretty brilliant. So I think the skill spread in Overwatch is a lot slimmer than people realize. Sure, there's really shitty people on there, and you know, there's people that don't get the game. But as far as mechanical skill and everything, I don't think there's that huge a difference, you know, until you get into the upper ranks like Masters and Grandmasters, etc.
Yeah, from my end, from what I see in my experience, it's about whether or not people are prepared to communicate. If they don't do that, then it's just huge disadvantage.
Right.
And then it's just positioning, and hero knowledge is huge for me. So like the triple tank meta and stuff like that, that's when people come against us, I do a pre-made of 2 or 3, and when people say, do you want to stay as a team and we'll do a 6 stack, I almost always say no, unless I'm really confident. But yeah, so for me, the problems are sort of more basic, right? Just like you say, you know, the mechanical skill and people's general sort of aiming and things. You might not see a massive discrepancy, but it is those very, very basic things. Understanding the meta, I think, and that it is an ever-evolving game. I think a lot of people just stick with what works. And I'm still getting, as Reinhardt, I'm still getting boosted by Ana all the time. And I'm like, dude, Sol just got his fucking ultimate. Give it to him, you know? It's like, I'm like, you're powered up, get in there. And those are the words I just don't want to hear, you know, because you don't get the movement speed buff anymore, and it's, you know, those are just kind of heart-sinking moments. But yeah, it's so
we did
enjoyable.
have a really accidental synergy the other day, though. We actually had a Lucio and a Zenyatta behind our Reinhardt. We didn't have a soldier. He was dead. And Ana just decided to go for it with Ryan, and Lucio popped his speed boost, you know. So he speed boosted, and then Zenyatta did his ult. So we had a nano-boosted, super-fast Reinhardt covered by a Zenyatta just wreaking havoc on everything. It was the easiest team kill we ever got.
Man.
It was absolutely brutal.
Cool.
So what would you say in Overwatch is the one thing that triggers you the absolute most?
Ooh. Oh, man. There are many things that trigger me in Overwatch, and I think it does vary from day to day how I feel about it. See, some days, if I hear Genji's ultimate, like I hear the enemy Genji ultimate, that will do it.
The sound
that will actually do it. Yep.
Wait, that's fucking.
Yep.
What is his? That's something weird.
Yeah, it's another dragon-related speech thing, but yeah, I think Genji's ultimate is. I think it is so powerful when you get a good Genji, and you know, in comparison with some of the other ultimates, like Roadhog's ultimate can actually do nothing, even within a good Roadhog's hand sometimes, just from people's positioning and shields and whatnot. But you know, when you get a good Genji and he does that, so I guess that is probably what triggers me the most, and it's also because I don't actually play Genji. He's the one hero that I just don't get him. I don't understand it. So I've tried him, and I've once I get my ult, I think, right, that's it, motherfuckers, you're going to pay now, and then no, I get swatted, and that's actually kind of why Reinhardt is my main. I think it's because when Genji pops his ultimate, I do like to smack him on the head and crush his skull. So I don't know if it's because that triggers me so much that the only way to balance the anger is take the one hero that can just splash him. So So I guess my triggered moments are probably changing now that I'm in season 3. I'm sort of settling on Reinhardt now. I was Ana in the earlier stages, but Genji was just crushing me. So but I can tell you what's triggering me at the moment is Pharah pocket healed by Mercy is
absolutely
killing me. The inability for people to swap their hero, and we've got a Junkrat in our team. Like, dude, you are not effective. I don't care what you think is going on right now, but you are not going to be some kind of facilitator of success. So that's been today's trigger. Is that? So I've shouted at a couple of people today. So,
there is one saving grace about being in silver. It's that Pharaohs are too stupid in that rank to fly away from a Roadhog. So hooking a Pharah is the absolute most satisfying thing in the world. I swear. It's brilliant.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, that doesn't happen.
No. Whenever I was in gold last season, they would just never even get kind of close. I think I got 1 or 2 hooks the entire season. This season, it's like every time a Pharah comes in, unless they're really good, they're hooked. They're done.
That's interesting because they kind of buffed Pharah slightly in the way that her flight time is now more. So you know how it used to run down faster, the rockets, and now the rocket flight thing lasts a lot longer. So you should be seeing less of that.
You would think.
I think it's just how bad those people are at playing.
I think what it is that at that rank especially, the mechanical skill isn't exactly there, so you have to get in closer to try to confirm hits. And if we got a bunch of people on the payload and Pharaoh's their last resort or something. Getting close and try to, get direct rocket hits rather than splash damage, and that's what kills them. One thing I have seen several times now that's absolutely brilliant is Symmetra, her new shield thing. I've seen several of them pop it up into an ulting Pharah and make her kill herself.
I've not seen that yet. No, I've not seen that.
That's satisfying.
But she is Symmetra on that point is sort of becoming a kind of a go-to hero, and I don't know. I think I can see that getting a little nerf. I don't know if the cooldown of the sentries needs maybe adjusting. I like the flying shield. I'm going to be honest. I like that, and I like the alternating shield generator thing. It's and I'm seeing Symmetra play the games now.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting time for any Symmetra players, and you know what it used to be like. Anyone takes Symmetra on attack, you'd be like, dude, check yourself, but now it kind of is interesting, but it does sort of throw some things out of balance in terms of if you do like the triple tank meta and stuff like that, and someone says, well, I'm taking Symmetra, then what you're going to do, because that's one support down, you got 3 tanks, so so that kind of does. I suppose the meta is evolving, from away from that in some ways. If Symmetra is going to remain that strong,
and that's the thing about Overwatch that's just beautiful is that the meta is constantly changing. There's no, they're very good about balancing out everything.
You mean
so
tell
there's
me
not necessarily
it's not just Star Fox on Final Destination with no items.
Yeah, I mean, there is no like Fox on Final. There is no Meta Knight. There's no like one true overpowered hero except for Soldier 76. I'm just kidding.
From what little
he had his day and he's come back.
What little Overwatch I played, I really enjoyed playing Soldier 76.
Yeah, because you're a COD baby.
Yeah, I don't like COD that much.
Not COD.
I was more of a Battlefield guy, actually.
Oh, that's right. You did play Battlefield.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But I was going to say on that point of the meta is kind of I suppose what will keep a lot of people in those lower ranks. It will be that those that aren't interested enough to read patch notes and go on the forums and go on YouTube and see what people are making videos about, and because it is those ever-changing moments, and then you will see some fucking dumbass on the forums that will then write, why can't we just all be balanced and every hero be,
Why can't we all just be good?
Because then everyone because then it doesn't matter which hero you take.
It's
for
all
fuck's
about
sake,
their idea of balance is that everyone is the same, not that certain heroes are checks for other heroes, and that's how the game gets balanced. You have to. There has to be hard counters and soft counters and all. That's how it works in fighting games. That's how it works in a class-based shooter. I mean, you want these characters to feel different. Like the game that came out early, what was it, 2015, an early access called Dirty Bomb, which is another class-based shooter. It came out before Overwatch, and it's that to me is that example of, well, why can't everyone be balanced? All those guns shoot the fucking same. Like, there's no difference between a class. The only difference is this guy's got bombs and this guy's got a sword. Like, that's it, And so the balance was like, so it just became like, well, who's better at handling a mouse and keyboard to shoot people?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a first-person shooter thing, but that's not what this game was trying to be. It was trying to be a class-based, shooter, and you can't do that with this kind of game. It's meant to be this very character-driven thing, and that's why you have to learn the characters. You have to learn about every little detail of the game. That's how you get good, because you don't get good by playing the game, because you can only get so good. You only get so far doing that. You have to go out, watch the YouTube videos, read the meta, do everything you can, absorb the game into yourself, as it were.
Yeah, it's kind of. I know this is going to sound a little off, but it is the responsibility of someone who enters competitive mode to at least try their best and keep an eye on all the stuff that's going on. Because the other thing that changes is when a new hero comes in, as you'll have remembered, when Sombra came in, that just rocked everything. Sombra in solo queue is actually a goddamn nightmare for the team that she's trying to help, because synergy and cooperating with your team, telling them what you're doing, and then really see in my rank, I'm sort of seeing a lot of platinum and diamond players where I am, and all we get whenever Sombra is on our team is, "Hey, dude, will you just hack the fucking health packs?" That's all people say to the Sombra.
That's
because
all I want you
the
to
other
do
stuff
right now.
Yeah, just hack the health pack. That is it. And the other stuff, the more sort of nuance-based things, which should be invisibility via harassment, hacking people from behind, picking off support, these kind of things, harder to do if you're not talking to your team. And a lot of Sombra players, even in Platinum level and Diamond, they're not using their microphones, and it is frustrating as all hell. And that can even overtake my Genji ultimate trigger. I find that really, really frustrating. So, but Sombra is another hero that I don't get, and it's weird because I like the idea of what she does. I always thought when I read about her abilities, I thought this is going to be really overpowered. I'm really worried about this invisibility thing. And when you saw her in the trailer, and then you see what she could do to Bastion, I play with my friend who's a Bastion main, and we both looked at each other and went, "Oh no, this isn't going to go well." But in reality, it does not work like that at all. Because she makes this she says something, when she comes out of her invisibility, which, by the way, I don't know why. I actually think that's a massive disadvantage. And as soon as the words come out of her mouth, my friend, he's actually number 1 in the EU for Bastion, his instincts are just 180 in a millisecond, and she's dead. He gets headshots that quick. So Sombra is the most useless Bastion counter I've ever seen in my life, in the experience of sitting next to a pro Bastion player. So yeah, he's kind of handy to have around.
It's like when they release those trailers in fighting games of like, here's the character, we're revealing this character, and it's like, oh, look at all his awesome ass moves, holy fuck, he does it, and then it's just like, oh fuck, he sucks ass, what the fuck are we doing? You can't actually do this in real life. No one's gonna stand still long enough for you to do that.
I know. So it's like when Sombra first came out, that boop that she did would be really high pitched, and like boop, and then it's like now whenever anyone selects her, we're all like, because that's your impact in the game now.
Yes, Sombra did turn out to be a real disappointment, but I'm sure that they are going to do some major adjusting on her probably pretty soon. I would say, or at least soon in PTR.
Yeah, no doubt. I always thought the EMP was a bit underwhelming. Seeing the trailer as well, it looks amazing. It looks like this massive, like half the map is getting hacked. And then when you actually cast it, it's only like 2 or 3 meters. It doesn't feel that much. But it's because it's like a big bubble. It's like a big dome. It's not big enough, I don't think. I think it needs to be a bit more substantial.
It does seem to be Blizzard's MO in a lot of their other games is to to not nerf as much as buff. Like they seem to nerf only in like extreme circumstances. At least when I was playing Hearthstone, it was like, oh yeah, you needed to nerf that fucking card. Like what the fuck? Like like Leroy Jenkins, for instance, making it a little bit weaker so that they couldn't just kill you with dragon whelplings, and
one thing like they like McCree, that was an example of an extreme circumstance. His what was it, unlimited range, I think he had at first. So he could literally just snipe you across the map.
Yeah, his damage had no drop off, so he was doing the maximum damage at any range, and it was ridiculous. He was basically like he had a 50 cal sniper rifle, in the 6-shooter. So you would be, yeah. I know, it's high noon everywhere. Reinhardt was getting like two-shotted, from the other end of the map. That was ridiculous. But they also nerfed, talking about Genji's ultimate, you can tell I've got some scarring, but they knocked down his ultimate by a few seconds, and even after the nerf, I turned to my Bastion friend and we were still like, he's still far too fucking strong, So that I think was a good balance change as well. But McCree is... he's fallen out of the meta slightly, hasn't he?
McCree is good, but he takes so much mechanical skill to be, to do some real good with him. But Soldier, he's just fucking like, here, just kind of pulse your shots a little bit, and you're good to go. And what was it? I think they turned up the damage per bullet and increased the spread, but it doesn't matter.
That's right. Yeah, it's a real trouble for me as Reinhardt, because I basically, whenever I'm on voice chat now, I didn't ever used to do this, but now whenever I'm on voice chat and I see a soldier, I always just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's me from 2000 on my shield to it actually exploding. So I always count it down for people now, just so they know, because a lot of people forget how strong he is now. So yeah, but it's cool. I'm loving that Soldier's back in the meta, because I was actually getting sick of McCree. It was. Yeah.
So it was like when, like I said, I only know so much from following articles on game sites, and from what little experience I've had with Overwatch, it seems like when most people first started playing, they went with Soldier because he was a first-person shooter character, and then they branched off into the other different styles and found their footings, and a lot of people left him behind, and then so I guess Blizzard felt like they needed to bring him back up because, like, he's still a guy. He's still in the game. Play him.
Yeah, I know. He's well, him and Tracer to me are like the poster boy and the poster girl for the for the game. So I think it was important that they somehow kept him in the mix. And it kind of, I think they just went too far with him when they pulled him out the last time. So, but now I feel he's in the best place. I actually feel Soldier is kind of like close to a must-pick hero, but not someone that you worry about so much on the other side. But there are certain things I do still worry about. Like I was saying earlier about the Pharah with the pocket healing. Mercy, I think, is just so difficult if you don't have a Soldier on your team. So it's just that ever-changing sort of meta. I'm always keeping an eye on it. So I think every single day I'm logging in, checking YouTube, seeing what's what, because the pro players are always sort of messing around, and that's when the triple tank thing came around. Everyone was like, "Oh, by the way, triple tank, that's now a thing."
Awesome.
I was like, really? What's this? So.
One of the other Overwatch channels I actually follow is Your Overwatch. They actually have a really good Discord for grouping up with other people, and that seems to be, for me at least, that's the place where I get my information about the meta, and they're really good about staying on point with uploading and everything. One thing I've noticed, though, is that there are just... How do I even explain this kind of thing? There are just so many YouTubers out there that think they know their shit, but they're just kind of like way off the point, that's why I say with Your Overwatch, they follow pro meta, and they explain this is pro meta. This doesn't mean that you're going to be good at it, but this is what they do in case you want to try it. This also works. And,
that's one of my favorite things that you see in a lot of communities around games, is that there's the pro players out there putting their meta out there, basically saying, well, this has been working for me. Like Hearthstone was a good example of that. All the players had Twitch channels, and you'd see them like, oh, this is the deck I'm running this time. It's got all these cards, and this works for me. It's awesome. And then everybody and their damn brothers on those deck building sites, and they're building those decks and they're using them in the game, and then it's just like, this sucks, it doesn't work, I don't understand it, and then or it does actually blow up in this whole big thing. So is it kind of like that, where it's just like they're, and so one of the things that gets me is when people are what you were talking about with YouTube people. They're more the personality driven YouTube channels, and personality is one thing, but you also have to back it up.
Yeah.
It's like being really good at a game is just as important as being an entertaining person, which is why we can't be popular on YouTube.
Yeah, our YouTube content is absolute garbage, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because we're not good at video games. We're not good at video games. I suck at most of them.
I actually don't think I'm that good at Overwatch. I think I'm always going to think that I'm kind of better than average, but not pro. And that's how I have to see it, because I've got other responsibilities outside. And so, I mean, I spend a lot of time trying to keep up with things and trying to upload videos and all that kind of stuff, but that's why you don't get meta videos from me. You get sort of like the basics. But
if you've been following the meta, and then you watch one of your if like a person's been following the meta and they watch your video, you're not going to sound like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh no, I definitely keep up with it all. It's just I think my videos have a different kind of flavor, so I sort of try and simplify the bullshit for people, because what I see a lot of the time, I'm glad you mentioned your Overwatch, because they always make a disclaimer saying, hey, this is working for these guys, just so you know, it might not work for you, because when you see a pro Winston and he's going around and he's just basically charging through, Widowmaker's dead, Anna's dead, they're just like brutalizing the team, and then his ultimate's ready and he just does a team kill, and then you're like, there you go, that's how you play Winston, always take Winston and you'll be a dive comp hero. Then you think, well, actually no, because it's really difficult to play Winston well, and if you mess up a jump, then you're absolutely screwed. So all those kind of things with those YouTubers, they make a lot of sense. Whereas what I like to do is simplify what I see in front of me and at my level, and a lot of people sit at my level, which is, so, I mean, really, when you play Platinum, you will be playing with gold players, and you'll be playing with diamond players, and that the people that are nearly platinum and the people that were diamond but they somehow got fucked. Those are the people that I see a lot of, and because that's kind of like where the majority of Overwatch players are probably sitting somewhere in, then it's probably where any of my views come from, is that I get a lot of people saying, yeah man, I know what you mean, because I'm in that zone. I'm in, it's like it's tangible and it's real. Whereas when I go to some Overwatch videos, I love watching these top players, but I think it's great when you see them in their master and grandmaster, and you're thinking, okay, this is next level shit right here. And you look at it as a kind of an inspiration, as a kind of I want to get there. I really want to get there. So I base mine more on keeping the basics simple, like those 10 reasons that 10 things to make you rank up faster. It's just to mind your awareness, mind your hero choice, and don't be toxic and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, I am extremely toxic, but I never do it. I never ever do it during the match if I can help it. I'm only toxic if someone like gives me some serious shit, then at the end of the game they're going to get it. But I usually just button it and bury it right there and then. Unless a Junkrat won't swap out when he's getting absolutely destroyed, I'll usually scream at him.
And it's.
But yeah, so basically, I was going to say the channel makeup, if you like, is entertainment, because everyone understands why people get angry at a game like this. It kind of does boil the blood. It is like boiling your own kettle, that kind of thing.
Just let us know if we start running too long for you at any point.
That's cool. I've still got endorphins in my system and adrenaline from before. So yeah.
So what other games do you play other than Overwatch and World of Warcraft? I saw you canceled your World of Warcraft account, actually, didn't you?
Oh man, I can't tell you how much drama that has
emotional
caused
video.
me.
I watched it, and I was expecting angry Scottish rant, Scotch fueled rant, and it was just like.
Well, I'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll explain what's kind of happened and the response I've been getting as well. I don't know why, but the video, I wouldn't say it's gone viral, but for me, for my level of YouTube, it's got more views than normal,
views than
so
subscribers.
it's gone. Yeah, oh yeah, nearly 3 times as much. It's got over 100k views, and a lot of people that have sort of come in have just said, "Who the fuck are you?" And I don't care.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. Oh, they're so nice out there in the YouTube community.
Yeah. Oh, they're great on the internet, yeah. And then another will be like, "Bye, Felicia." You know, it's like all the internet stuff that people say. I had to look that one up because I'd never heard of that one. You know, you say, "Bye, Felicia."
It's a filthy American.
You guys know
thing.
that one? Or
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. No, it's not a problem. I get it now, but it's
You
fine.
have to have seen Friday
but then,
starring Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
Sadly, I've not. But I
recommend Friday. You should watch
it. I quite like both of them. I'll put it on my list. Remind me after we go off air. I'll put that on my list of things to watch. But yeah, so quitting Warcraft. Basically, I thought when I did this that it would kill my channel because I'd built up my subscribers just through overplaying the last 2 years. I think it was maybe a bit more playing World of Warcraft from Mists of Pandaria, and when Overwatch came out, it was only earlier this year, and I just thought maybe. This is the end. So I just made this video, and that's why my face was tripping me, because I was like, I've really enjoyed making YouTube videos. I've loved making the Overwatch stuff, but because, as we mentioned earlier, we don't make a great deal of money on YouTube, and I wouldn't probably be continuing it if no one watched it. But it turns out that the response has been really good, and a lot of people have said they're not going to unsub from me because they subbed for me and not for the game. Yeah. And I thought, did you? Well, that's
nice.
It's kind of weird, and it's hard to see it. It's hard to see it from that point of view, because when I'm browsing YouTube, I browse a lot of channels that are not personality driven, like that it's just things about meta this and meta that. That's pretty much all I watch. So it's a lot of information based channels, and I don't really think too much about entertainers and what they are. So the other thing I've tried to do is reply to everyone's comments, which I just can't do anymore. It's just impossible. But up until a certain point, like early this year, every single comment that had a question in it or whatever, I just answered it straight away. And it would only take about an hour a day to go through all of those questions. But now, when a video goes up and it's like 400 comments,
most of them
within,
are like, "How does my dick
a few hours?" I'm like,
what? Why are you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stop playing, you cuck faggot, and quit. Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. That's all I get. Yep. But yeah, so World of Warcraft, I'm done with it. And I've been accused of selling out. I've been accused of, going to Overwatch because Blizzard have asked me to. I've been, all the most wild theories have come through. And I'm like, guys, I just explained it to you. It maybe took longer than it should have. It took me 15 minutes to explain. I've been playing it for 12 years. I've been playing Warcraft 3, 2, and 1 before that. I'm just done with it,
That's
and I've quit the game a few times off and on. Yeah, I mean, the game's good. It is really, really good. It's just, I feel right now, for me, that MMOs, I'm done with them. And to me also, online. It feels like, yeah, but from everyone I speak to, and this is just everyone I speak to, so I don't speak for the majority, but everyone I speak to seems to be in a place where MMOs are kind of like, you don't want to live in them anymore. And I don't know if it's because the world is just getting like a faster place, or people's lifestyles are changing, or I don't know, but I think a lot of people are, sort of evolving their games. So when you ask me what else I play, this is kind of like to facilitate that, because I've loved playing GTA 5 and I've loved playing Skyrim. And when the remastered edition came out, I was so excited about that because, not just because it looks nicer, but the idea of starting from the very, very beginning. I loved it. And that was something that I wanted to do. And as soon as it launched, I was like, I just don't have time. I'm still making World of Warcraft videos. I'm still doing Overwatch. I'm trying to keep up with the meta here. So I guess it all comes down to, do I feel free enough to play other games? And with Overwatch being my focus, the answer is now, yes, I do. And I don't know how you guys feel about consoles, but I have a PS4. And I only have that for convenience, because it's one of those things where I do all my YouTubing, all my Overwatching in a separate building from my house. And when I'm in my own house, I want to sit and do, other stuff. Right. And so I sometimes switch off and play console games. So I've been playing the new Final Fantasy that came out, but I've only racked up about 30 minutes in it. And I'm a bit concerned because
Are you me? I've done the exact same thing. I bought the new Pokemon. I bought.
I can't get into it.
Final Fantasy 15. I bought something else. Super Mario Maker for 3DS, like with the full intention of playing all of these games, and they're all brand new, just fresh games. I have not been able to pry myself out of Overwatch. It's just something about it. I don't know what it is. It objectively, it should not be as good a game as it is, considering the content and everything. But it's just good. It's fun. It's so much fun.
It is good. But I'll tell you the good thing about all these other games is that, as I've mentioned a couple of times, I get triggered as fuck on Overwatch. So it's
Just
really
step
good.
back.
So to have another game,
something a little bit more relaxing.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing.
Oh yeah. So
I don't own any of the newer consoles only because I went just towards the PC route, and I kind of wish I hadn't because there's a lot of great games coming out on the PS4 that I'd love to play, like Uncharted 4. I love the Uncharted series, but it's like I'll get to you someday kind of thing. But one console I did buy was the fucking Wii U for some reason.
I have
love
a
my
Wii U.
Wii U, though.
Yep.
It's so dumb. It's like the dumbest fucking Nintendo console ever, but it's just like I get to play Mario Maker.
It's dumb,
and
but
that
charming.
is like the greatest game ever made because it's the endless game. And what you can do with it, and like sitting down with the kids and and pulling out Mario Maker and being like, hey, let's make a dumb level. And my son's just been he's making levels and actually getting more plays and stars than I am on Mario Maker.
I'm fucking
It's because everybody tries my levels and they're like, oh, it's too hard, and then they quit halfway through because they can't handle a fucking challenge. Like, okay, you just jump over goddamn 3 Goombas. Yeah, they got wings. Yeah, there's no ground. Just do it.
Well, you realize the core demographic for the
For
Wii U.
Nintendo games are children, and they don't know how to play fucking video games.
Hear Australia's favourite wrestlers on Wrestle Radio Australia. Whether you're a fan or part of the industry, Wrestle Radio Australia is here for you with 4 packed shows. WRA with Todd Eastman and Josh Armour. Drawing Heat with Beej and the Dude. Axecast with Josh the Axe Shooter. And Healing Out with Muhammad Ali Vaez.
My job is to get heat. My job is to make other guys. My job, hopefully, is to make people want to see other people beat me.
It's all free. Subscribe on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or hear us at WrestleRadioAustralia.com. Wrestle Radio Australia. It's where the action is.
I have a philosophy on that, and it might sound quite cruel,
Yeah,
but
go for it.
so I bought the Wii U for my son and for me, but it was for Mario Maker and all that kind of stuff, and people do get horrified when I tell them this, but so my son he's addicted to Super Smash Brothers and all that kind of stuff,
here.
and he's got Mario Kart and all these kind of games, and when I first introduced it to him, I just decided right there and then that if he was going to be any good at it, he would have to accept the consequences of playing against me. So I fucking crushed him. He's
I do the
right?
same thing. I do the
And
same
he
thing.
is-
I don't let my son win.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah,
You gotta
exactly. But
learn.
my son is 8 years old. Yeah, he's 8 years old, and now he's playing Super Smash Brothers on its hardest level. And so whenever he plays against the enemies, that there's like it goes from level 1 to 9. He's like 3v1, and playing against him on level 9. He is fucking beasting it. And I take a little bit of pride until he says, "Dad, do you want to play Super Smash Brothers?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not playing you anymore.
too good.
I'm not doing
Yeah,
it."
you're that guy now at this
But-
point.
You trained him.
Yeah, so you're
I will tell
goddamn
you this,
right.
Frank.
Yeah.
The first time, this is way back when we had an apartment together, actually. Whenever we got the N64 with, or
GameCube.
it might have been after it was the GameCube, right? It was the GameCube with Mario Kart. And your son got onto it. And I guess he had been practicing at your mom's house or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we hopped on it, and I'm expecting, how old was Kate at this point? Like 9?
He was probably, if it was still at the apartment, then he would have been like 7 at that point. Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah.
So we get on there, and yeah, I remember him not be. He was
like
he
when
was
you
at
first
an
started out, he's
age-
not that great. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at an age that I didn't expect him to know how to navigate menus yet. But he just goes on and picks 150cc, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're gonna do this level, dude. And then he picks fucking Luigi, and I'm like, all right, scrub. Luigi sucks in this game. I'm picking Bowser or something. I don't know. And
Always go with a Koopa.
and we get in the race, and I couldn't remember the timing on the red, yellow, green. And I miss the boost, and he gets it, and I'm like, all right, I'm already triggered. And we get going through this. I never fucking catch him. And he's beating me and all the fucking computer players and shit. And I'm in second behind your son this entire time. And I'm like actually getting angry with a smile on my face. Like, all right,
I'm not going to hurt this child.
Yeah. I'm letting you win. I'm telling myself I'm letting you win. And secretly I'm like, fucking go faster, Bowser, you piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like we got the Wii U that we bought came with Mario Kart. One of the first things we do is we sat down. I pulled out the Wii remotes from the Wii that we had, and we all got around and played it. It was me, my wife, my son, my daughter wanted to play too, but she's even younger, so she was only 4 at the time, so she just wanted to hold a controller, so I just gave her one, and I knew she wouldn't be able to do anything with it. But he was. But then we start going, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the fucking best at Mario Kart. I'm hitting my boosts and everything. Next thing you know, rubber band AI kicks in, rubber banding in general, blue shell. Here comes a red shell, blue shell, bullet bill. And it's just like, I'm in 8th place now, and everybody else is in front of me. You're like, ha, you lose. It's like, you didn't just see that. We can watch the replay. It will show every time I got hit.
Shit. I want a rematch. Final destination, no items, Fox only. Let's go.
Yeah. My son's not that great at Smash Brothers. What he likes doing in Smash Brothers is putting AI against each other. That's his fun time.
I used to do that.
Oh, right.
Spectator mode.
But I'll still beat his butt at Smash Brothers. Just give me Captain Falcon. We'll go hard.
Yes.
Captain Falcon and Ness. I'm one of those weirdos who likes playing Ness.
You are a weirdo.
But that fucking baseball bat is badass. Knock the shit out of somebody.
So who's your Smash main?
My Smash main. Oh, I don't have one, man. I can't play against my son anymore. I used to play Mario as my son would always request it because he likes Luigi, and he would always say, we have to have Mario and Luigi together so he can kick the shit out of me. I don't get it.
My son loves Luigi.
He's like,
Mario's just like, it's Mario. Everybody knows Mario. But Luigi's like a taller Mario, and he's green. Yeah. Like,
I mean, I was a Luigi guy too growing up. I don't know what it is.
I never wanted to be Luigi. My brother liked being Luigi because he liked to jump. I didn't like to jump.
Oh, you mean in Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah,
2.
exactly. Super Mario Brothers 2. Well, even then, Super Mario World, he had the weird tweakly leg jump a little bit. The jump physics were a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get it. I honestly don't get why Luigi is so popular with children. Like, kids love Luigi. I don't get it. Year of Luigi, everybody. It's still going on. I
don't know.
In the hearts and minds of every child.
I think maybe it's because my son likes to try to do the Luigi voice because I do the Mario voice so well.
Oh, yeah.
It's me, Mario. Welcome to hell. I'm gonna kill you, you son of a bitch.
But yeah,
I don't know. But it was Mario. But I wanted to be Charizard. That was basically what the guy was trying to play the most. But it's weird. That's just the way the kids want it. Just do what they do what they say.
You bend to their will
Pokemon
when they want
Master.
you to do something. I mean, I do the same with my son. Like, whenever we play Mario Kart, I am whoever he wants me to be. Like, I don't have a person that I pick just because, if he wants me to be Luigi, I'm Luigi. If he wants me to be fucking who's Rosalina, I'll be fucking Rosalina. Pisses me off.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about then. Yeah, it's just best to avoid the grief.
Yeah, and he'll pitch a fit if I don't too. Like, I think the first time he ever told me to be Rosalina, because I really hate that character. I don't know why. There's something about her. But
she's too damn sexy. That's the problem,
right? But the first time he told me to be Rosalina, I'm like, I'll just be Bowser because he's cooler.
I'll be Dry Bones.
Yeah, I'll be Dry Bones. And he's like, no, you have to be Rosalina because so and so, and this weird circular fucking
circular reasoning about why you had to be Rosalina.
Yeah. He's going, what's the guy from Jurassic Park?
Sam Neill?
No,
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum.
Chaos
he went, like Jeff Goldblum on me. He's just fucking going around this circular logic. You have to be Rosalina because the giant meteor's coming and you're the only one that can stop it because you're riding on a star like Kirby. I don't fucking know. Weird shit like that. I mean, kids are weird, man. I don't know. I don't understand them.
I barely do. I got 2 of them. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I got number 3 on the way.
Oh, yeah,
hell.
that's right.
Yeah, my wife's pregnant.
Good
What?
luck.
I had sex? What?
Yeah, You have physical proof that you had sex at least twice.
At least twice.
At least twice. Physical proof.
I don't know, that one, he's blonde-headed. He kind of looks weird. I don't know if he's lying or not. We'll have to have a talk with Uncle Jackson.
But yeah, that's one of my biggest things about being a kid is that at least nobody can say I'm a virgin. Got 2 kids, and they look just like me. Good luck. I can't go on Maury.
Your poor children. They do look just like you.
It's sad, isn't it? I'm sorry.
So we do actually want to get your promotion for your channel in. If you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead and lay down your YouTube URL and et cetera, et cetera. I'm doing X video whenever, or
he's doing X video.
Yeah, X
RAGTAGG,
video.
you're doing X video now?
I'd pay. I'd pay for that subscription.
Brazzers.com
/RAGTAGG.
I need the Chuck Tingle. The Chuck Tingle autobiography.
Oh my God.
That's another thing. I cannot roll my R's like you can, sir. And you never miss it. Every single R, especially in the Reinhardt video, every single R you hit it. I was listening for it, and every one you roll, and it's flawless. I don't know how. I don't know if it's a Scottsman thing, but it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Scots are really known
It is a
for
Scotsman
rolling
thing.
their R.
Actually, it depends where you're from in Scotland. The Central Belt area, as we call it in Glasgow and Edinburgh, they are pretty good at rolling the R's. But the further north you go, the accent changes somewhat and gets a little bit softer. So I've been living up north the last 8 years now, and maybe more than 8 years, and I can feel my rolled R's just softening because people look at me funny when I do it. And then I realise now that I roll them more when I'm angry. So because the true where I'm from, just starts to come through. So obviously every Overwatch video you'll always hear it's every single time.
It's like a machine gun going off. And you do it for a long time too. Sometimes I can get like 3 or 4 rows before I lose it when I hit it good.
I can't do it at all. When I do it, it sounds like I'm gargling cum.
Yeah. You sound like that anyway, Frank.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's because I'm always gargling cum.
I was going to say on my YouTube banner there is a picture of me, my in-game character, holding a two-handed mace, and behind him it says RAGTAGG. And there was a girl that made the art for me, and I asked her if she could put like 1 million R's right behind the RAGTAGG bit, so it actually fades in, and it sort of goes really quiet, like RAGTAGG. That's how it's supposed to look. But all that's going to be changing. So I suppose if I was to amalgamate this and go into a promo for my channel, I would say if you do visit me, you just need to literally YouTube RAGTAGG and you'll find me. But double G at the end. But I'm not going to be a World of Warcraft channel, and it will look that way because there's a big ass orc in the background of the banner. There's World of Warcraft videos everywhere.
It's like an orc from. It's just an orc. It has nothing to do with any particular video game.
Yeah. So even the thumbnail has 50% of my face as an orc and 50% as a human. But over the next couple of weeks, probably by January, I'll have fixed the banner and got a commission
just make
done.
It look as bad as possible, though. Like crayon drawing of Reinhardt, just like taped over the orc.
Yeah, literally, just like Photoshop. Have your son draw Reinhardt's face.
Yeah, what do you think Reinhardt looks like? Okay,
because you already got the hammer, so it works.
Yeah, just put that over there.
I was thinking of, I'll actually maybe get him to do Genji, and then I'll just like Photoshop a dildo going through one ear to the other side.
Just get the screenshot from a Scary Movie where the dick goes through.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
best scene ever, man.
We actually have something we want to play
One
for
more
you.
thing
and
for you. See how much you agree with this.
Yeah, we want to see how much you agree with this particular statement. You'll probably recognize
Brothers
it.
and sisters are natural enemies, like Englishmen and Scots, or Welshmen and Scots, or Japanese and Scots, or Scots and other Scots. Damn Scots! They ruined Scotland!
You Scots sure are a contentious people.
You just made an enemy for life!
Is that accurate?
Is that Groundskeeper Williams?
Groundskeeper Williams, of course.
Oh man, I totally forgot about that. Jesus.
It was the only thing we could think of whenever we.
I was like, oh, he's Scottish. Damn Scots! You ruined Scotland!
Well, oh man, brothers and sisters are natural enemies. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. So England and Scotland. If you'd asked me this
Before Brexit?
I don't know,
Before
10
Brexit?
years ago. Yeah. The thing is, before that, there was the independence vote as well to get Scotland away from England. So before all that kicked off, if things were fine. It was all kind of linked, and the only thing that ever really pissed me off in terms of England and Scotland was I would go down to London and I would have money from Scotland, and it is British sterling, and then people would look at me in the shops and
fucking commoner
hold it up as it, what the fuck is this? And they'd be like holding it left and right, and then they'd be like, I don't know if I can accept this. And I went, well, you fucking will accept it because it is British sterling pounds. And then they said, I'm gonna have to consult my manager. Well, you go and fucking do that. You speak to your manager, and then your manager will tell you it is sterling pounds, and you have to take it. But yeah, it is real money. And then the thing is that's what pissed me off, because when anyone came up from England and gave us their English money, we would take it. We wouldn't say, oh no, don't take any of this shite, we're gonna have to pass you that back. But they were really kind of snotty about it, and the further down you go south of the border, then the worse they get. And if anyone came over from Ireland, their money looks like it's from Monopoly, so it was really weird. But the rest of Britain have kind of cottoned onto it, and we actually do what Ireland did. There's some plastic into the notes now that wasn't in it before. But anyway, so that was one thing that always bugged me. And then when the independence vote came on, saying would we like to have our own parliament, and I was thinking, well, let's take a think about it, because I don't know if you know much about Scotland and England, but basically Scotland, in terms of how we operate financially, where we would be very wealthy as a country by ourselves, because what we spend and what we sort of bring into the country massively different. But Scotland bails the rest of England out, and the big changes and the big things and the big decisions that get made all really come from London and their parliament. Like things like, we're going to war. It's like, oh, are we now? Are we really going to fucking war? So those kind of big things made me think, if we ever got independent and the vote came up, I would vote yes. So that happened, and then it was close, and then we had to just sit there and take it. And then Brexit happened. I mean, this was a load of shit. And let me tell you about this. I'll be very quick. I'm not very political, by the way, in terms of... it says me, would we vote independence? Yes. Is Brexit a bad idea? It was a terrible idea, But the thing is...
you ruined Scotland.
You fucking ruined it. I know. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you about Brexit. A lot of people that voted to leave the EU did it just to shit on the Prime Minister's face. That was what they did it for. Because then they interviewed a bunch of people afterwards, and they said, well, actually, if we could vote again...
I do a southern accent, because that's what I would imagine they would sound like over here if the same thing happened.
No, but they said that, they would actually re-vote and do it again. So there was loads of people calling for that. So yeah, anyway, that's just,
and I like how
but
now
it looks like
Scotland just being like, well, we'll just do another independence vote and probably win
that's
this
exactly
time,
what, and
then we'll just join the EU again.
Yeah, what we as Scotland never wanted to be apart from the EU, but Britain wanted to pull out because of the debt and the offloading of the debt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's more than that. Don't get me wrong. That's a very simplified version of it, but basically, Scotland itself, we don't harbour any ill will towards the English as such. It's just we have different philosophies on money, how it would be spent, war, and we're a bit more pacifist. It's not that we would disband military or anything like that, but we would be less inclined to.
It sounds
to use
like to me that
kind of stuff.
You're saying like the Scotland is making enough money to bail out England. And then
well, yeah, because Scotland make more money than they use, so it all gets spent, by the larger part of Britain, which is England, and that's
so when they said
fact.
what's Brexit, because we don't want to do the EU stuff anymore, they were basing it off the fact that they were getting so much money from Scotland. But what happens if Scotland leaves?
Yeah, no, they're
Yeah,
double
exactly.
fucked if that happens.
Like, take us back.
I mean, this would knock England right out of any kind of hope of the superpower. But the alliance with the USA is obviously a very good thing for Britain and for England.
We'll see how long that lasts until
Nigel
Farage says that Trump has tiny fingers. And then there's no more England anymore. What happened to it? Oh, well, it got bombed into the Stone Age.
No, but Trump is actually quite fond of Scotland, and he said that quite a few times.
They didn't seem too happy to see him, but he seemed to enjoy it. Yeah, the pictures I saw, at least. I'm pretty sure somebody said he was a wink pheasant or something like that.
I mean, you're always going to get someone getting called that.
That's just normal.
But it's
tell my friends that you're a wink.
That's a morning. That's how I greet my neighbors.
Yeah, a lot of people say to me that I'm in real life, not so much on YouTube, that if I call someone, a swear word, they always say I'm actually, very affectionate when I do that, and that's kind of like a Scottish thing. If you walk up to someone and say, "Oh, you're a wonderful cunt," it's like it's you could say that and it's completely fine.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of over here the C word is not as.
Yeah, cunt for some reason is a really, really taboo word here. Like it's like less accepted even than fuck.
Yeah,
for some reason
you can probably get away with that's why you can get away with one non-sexual fuck in a movie, but no one ever says cunt.
Yeah. Well, not in the. In an R-rated movie, but to keep it PG-13, you can say fuck one time.
Non-sexual fuck. You can't say I'm going to fuck you. But you can say, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right. Okay. Well, have you guys ever seen the Far Cry 3 co-op trailer? Because if you haven't, there's a co-op campaign trailer, and it's Callum, the Scottish thug, and he says cunt in it. And and I was sat there, I didn't think anything of it, but loads of people reacted to that. Went, oh, this guy said that. And I was like, yeah. Of course. Said that. So I recommend you guys check that out.
It's like using the things that the weird differences. Like we're perfectly fine with using terms like spazzing out, but that shit's like not cool to say.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's it's the equivalent of like going, not just because like retard, but spaz is like full like that's like a derogatory term for a person who is artard.
That is true. That is weird.
Yeah. There's things that you guys use that we don't use at all. Like we don't say faggot at all. Like it's not something we say in Scotland. I mean, obviously, anyone that does that is extremely homophobic, but it's not used as an internet derogatory. It's kind of like standard now. But it's standard on the internet. But people get really offended because Scotland is kind of
over
like
here. People would get really offended if you're talking to a non-gay person. Yeah, you can call the other person a faggot. In real life, but you would.
If you're talking to or about a gay person, it's usually not acceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
That we see it across the board as unacceptable. It's a very multicultural place, Scotland, I guess, in terms of thought. And
it's just a weird thing in America where, like, for some reason in the 90s and late 90s and early 2000s, where all of a sudden everything became gay. Like, we were just like, that's gay, faggot. Stop sucking dick, faggot. It's like, what the fuck are you, like, you really like thinking about sucking dicks. Like, all you're talking about is how gay things are and how you enjoy them. It's so gay.
But I don't know if you've seen any of my World of Warcraft content, but if you haven't, I used to censor the C word because I took a look at my analytics, which is what basically Google have for all YouTubers, where you can see who's viewing it and where it's from. And somewhere along the way, I started to realize that about 60% of my audience is American, and I was like, oh,
probably not gonna like
someone had already told me about the C. They said, you know what, don't do that, and I was like, really? They went, yeah. So every time I used it in a World of Warcraft video, I would start it and then I would end the video mid-word, or I would bleep it out. But but I don't do it anymore. I don't bleep it at all. But I used to all the time. I think somewhere along the way I just stopped giving a shit. But I used to think it would be very harmful and people might, be sending me hate messages and stuff. But then I realized that when you get called a nigger faggot, then it doesn't really matter anymore. It's like I was like, dude, that's not an insult that I'm really going to get offended by, because have you seen me? So I think that was it. It was like, you're a cuck nigger faggot, and I was like, it's like, how many of those can you string?
Some of those don't even have anything to do with each other. You can't be a cuck and also be black. I thought that involved a black person fucking your wife, and you have to be white and beta. But you can't, and you need a wife. Oh yeah, you can't be a cuck faggot.
Yeah. So once that started happening, because I was in conversation with a couple of bigger YouTubers who were over the 100,000 mark, and I said to them about comments, and I was telling them about how I reply, and they said, look, the moment people start giving you loads of abuse, then you know that you're actually getting quite popular. And I was thinking, all right, okay, that's probably never going to happen. But yeah, it has actually started to happen this year. I would love to send you I can read you now.
Oh, please do.
The comments that are basically on my withheld section.
These are Lucy's.
Oh,
this is brilliant content right here.
Oh no,
I'm loving it.
Oh, sorry, no, I've deleted most of them. I've only got a few left.
Just give me what you got.
Okay, gay, shut the fuck up, faggot. You don't quit WoW ever. Bye, faggot. No one cares. Cuck, faggot. Only pussies play warriors. And
how is that a comment ever? Only pussies play warriors.
Like in the real world, you would not call somebody who is a warrior a pussy. He was far from it. He's a warrior.
He's literally the manliest thing on the planet.
Yeah, someone else. Wait, you're not cancer already, and then scrolls to the start of the video as 000 at the timer. God, there's quite a few people, but there's been some really nice comments as well. I've had some things that I better not go into specifics, because I don't think they would be happy with me saying. But I've had some people say that that the World of Warcraft videos have actually helped them a lot. I've had people who've lost someone, or they've been diagnosed with illness that they're not going to get better from, and they say that they don't have a lot of happiness in their life, and they say that hearing someone get triggered the fuck out at a game, or just sit and rant about something because it's entertainment based, they say it's actually helped them a lot, and that kind of thing balances out the problems. And then there's the comments that I don't know what to do with, where someone says, please don't quit World of Warcraft, or I'm going to cut myself in the neck with a kitchen knife, and I'm like, please don't do that.
Just simply reply with the suicide hotline number and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Last thing you need is like this whole thing going viral on BuzzFeed, like YouTuber saves fan's life after he declares he was going to commit suicide over a video. Like, don't do it. Do you want to be a beta cuck fag? Do you really?
I mean, do you really want to go there?
Do you really want to be a beta cuck fag, nigger, dick loving son? What the fuck is wrong with you? Get off of the internet. Stop talking like that. The scary thing is when I think that there's just people like that who I would say they talk like that in real life, but they don't have friends. Like, there's not real people that these people know that they can speak like that in real life to. It's all like people on the internet. It's like, and they're not going to call their mom a cuck.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, mom. The stroganoff's cold, you cuck.
Oh God! I will tell you, Ragtag. I did come originally for the Overwatch content, but I stuck around for the Ragtag. You have loads of personality as a YouTuber.
I have personality loads.
Yeah, I
appreciate.
I mean, I've never played World of Warcraft in my life, and I really don't care to. And I've watched some of your World of Warcraft videos just because I enjoy watching and listening to you rant, because it's just that good. So come away from this at least knowing that you're a pretty cool guy and you doesn't afraid of anything. I don't know if you get that reference.
No, I appreciate that. Which reference was it, sorry?
It's an old meme, like old. How old is it?
Like 2008.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was well around then. I must have missed that one or forgotten about it.
Yeah, see, Halo is a pretty cool guy and shoots aliens and doesn't afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look it up on Know Your Meme.
That one.
You'll find it. Yeah, it's out there. This is back when memes were fun and not just image macros.
Yeah.
And I still call them image macros because I'm old.
Oh God! Remember back when?
Hey man, if you're older than me, I'll be impressed.
I'm not older age-wise. I'm spiritually probably older than you.
I don't know, Frank. We're getting old.
I'm 2 years away from 30. Okay.
He's 28. I'm 27.
Oh man. No, we're a decade.
Oh,
apart.
you're really that old?
Yeah, you think? Oh, come on.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you were it well.
Yeah.
No, I'm just old in spirit. I'm just been
Thanks.
beaten up by the world and life to the point where I feel 38, possibly 48. Plus, I'm losing my hair.
Your personality says 28. Your hairline says 39.
You know, my hairline's 54, bro. I'm not even going bald right.
Your hairline says Louis C.K. is what it says.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like it looks like somebody took a pair of shears to the side of my head and it never grew back.
Don't feel too bad because I'm like 2 years behind you. Take a look at this.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it's going right in the middle too. You're gonna turn to Friar Tuck.
Yeah,
oh, it's wonderful.
As soon as the Ring of Fire begins, it's gone. I'm shaving it
just
off.
going straight bald.
Oh yeah,
going for the
all
blow
the
tee.
hair is going. I'm just gonna be like Mr. Clean. Fuck it.
That's a look that I really like. The overweight white dude in his 40s. You know why he's bald? Because he shaves his head bald because he's going bald.
Yeah.
He grew a goatee in order to give himself the resemblance of a chin because he's too fat to have one. That's the look I'm going for, actually.
Fuck you, buddy. I have a chin. I have a great jawline.
I'm going for that look, though. I'm trying to get to that point.
You could go for the other look, which is the really skinny, goateed, right-wing neo-Nazi propaganda.
Yeah.
Full on fascist, racist.
Look like Edward Norton from American History X. Yeah,
yeah. I actually just watched that movie for like the 5th time the other day. So yeah.
Yeah,
really
don't worry.
like
There's
that
plenty of
movie.
people down here that look like that.
Awesome.
This might not even be racist. It's weird with the South.
Yeah.
With the South, there's a pretty good chance they're racist. But
I mean, I have I don't know how he really relates to me. He's
they probably
part
don't
of my
think
family.
of themselves as racist. They're definitely not out there with the white pride and the swastikas and everything like that. But they're probably well, you know how black people are.
Yeah. I like black people. I just don't like niggers.
Yeah, exactly. Like that argument, like that works. Like that. Oh yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's gonna really endear you to the black community. That argument. No, I just don't like some of you.
You're not all bad.
Whichever one of y'all's doing the stealing and the shooting, that's the ones I don't like.
The Uncle Toms are okay.
Yeah.
The rest of you can go to hell.
The ones that act like white people and do all the things that white people do and express their culture exactly the same way that I do are perfectly fine. But the ones that are having themselves a grand old time by embracing their blackness, oh, I can't stand it. They're rubbing it in my face, just like those gays. I just wish they wouldn't love each other so much.
Yep. That's what it's like to live in the South.
Yep. There's a lot of people knowing that they're wrong, and trying their best to articulate their wrongness in a way that isn't totally fucked up is wonderful.
And it's even worse when you get like an old white Southern woman who she actually believes that she's progressive.
Yeah.
But then she starts a sentence and then she goes lower. And then that black guy that lives across the street, they take it down.
Yeah. That's how they be progressive, is by not emphasizing his race, but mentioning it.
All right. Well, we are well over an hour in. I think we've got a good show here. Ragtag, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me, man. Thoroughly enjoyed
Absolutely.
myself.
We had a great time. I thought we were only going to have you for about 15 minutes, but then
We'll try to censor every instance of the N-word as much as we can.
Nah, I'll leave it in.
I don't know, I've said it before on the podcast, but in a positive way.
Yeah, positive nigger.
I meant it more like, don't...
I didn't mean positive. You fucking cockfaggot.
I would have done a sign off, but I don't know if people would understand it because that's how I finish all my videos.
That's fine. Do it.
Titles.
Yeah, we'll
just tell people. I always just tell people to shut their fucking mouths, and then I'll see them on the next video. That's what I usually say to them. But so yeah, everybody, shut your fucking mouths and get your asses here for the next podcast.
All right, Ragtag, and don't forget to go to youtube.com/ragtagwow. You might need to change that URL since you're not on WoW anymore.
No, it's just that's like wow, like ragtag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ragtag. Wow, it's Ragtag.
And that's spelled RAGTAGGWOW. He's a really great YouTuber, obviously a really cool guy. Love all your videos.
I will definitely start watching. I don't play Overwatch, but I'm definitely going to start watching his videos just because you're a cool dude. Like, yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Now, hopefully this will be the exact type of thing. Because, I mean, I don't know how much our audience crosses over with people playing Overwatch, but definitely crossing over with people who enjoy hearing from other cool people.
Yeah.
And I consider myself pretty cool.
Obviously. Also, don't forget to go to facebook.com/SOGOpod and twitter.com/TheSOGOpod. What's your Twitter handle there, Ragtag?
It is, I actually should know. It is just rag under slash or under hyphen, whatever it is, tag. So it's the same kind of deal.
Tag.
Underscore, that's the one. I'm on it every day, but I didn't even remember that. That's how I can tell my brain started to shut down.
It's time to let you
it's
go.
3:15 a.m.
All right, Ragtag, get out of here, man. We had a really good time.
That was awesome. That was great.
Oh, yeah, great content. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful time.
Heroes never die. Play of the game.
Brothers and sisters are natural enemies, like Englishmen and Scots, or Welshmen and Scots, or Japanese and Scots, or Scots and other Scots. Damn Scots! They ruined Scotland!
You Scots sure are a contentious people.
Just made an enemy for life!